What mandatory postings are required in New York State on top of the federal mandatory postings? There's a whole list of them. I'm just going to run through a couple of them, and I'm going to put a link in the notes to this video because it is too much for a 3-minute video. I'm Nancy Schick of Third Year Conflict Resolution. I'm an employment attorney and mediator licensed in New York State and resolving conflict in workplaces around the world. Going back to this whole series that I'm doing on employee policies and employee handbooks, helping employers just get their heads around all of the policies that they need. I see every day employers missing one or two or not being very familiar with them. Hopefully this series is going to at least give you the working knowledge so that you can have really powerful conversations with your employees when they need to use some of their benefits or they need to have a conversation with you about something like sexual harassment or something that's very difficult. So some of the mandatory postings that, again, are in addition to the federal postings that I covered in a prior video include things like in New York, the mandatory sexual harassment prevention policy, then a notice about the prohibition of retaliatory action. Often that relates to things like sexual harassment and discrimination or whistleblower types of claims where an employee has come to you and said, hey, I think we might be breaking the law. And instead of addressing the situation, then you actually retaliate by giving them fewer assignments or even terminating their employment. You need to know what qualifies as retaliation. And that's in addition to things like minimum wage specific to New York State or New York City if you're in the city. Then there are specific ones for certain counties as well. There are policies about lactation accommodation, meal and rest breaks, safety and health protection. Then, of course, all of those benefits for various types of injuries and illness that come up in an employment setting. There is a lot. I'm again going to put a link in the notes to this video. There is a blog post on my website that will help you navigate this, and I'm going to continue to break them down in videos like this. But before I let you go, I also need to remind you that on Thursday, it will be our Third Ear Thursday. That is January 16th at 3 p.m. We are going to be covering the new paid prenatal leave law in New York. I'll put a link to that with the notes to the video. Hit that subscribe button while you're down there. And in the meantime, of course, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.